Stowers leaves the yard again.
You love to see it from Stowers. 3 home runs in 3 games.
Stowers! No way! A walk-off grand slam! This kid is unconscious!
No way did he do that! This place is going bananas.
And Kyle Stowers, get to know him as your National League Player of the Week presented by Chevrolet. Why? All he did was dominate. Of his 8 hits, 4 were homers, including that walk-off 2-out 9th inning grand slam against the A's. This is how Kyle found out he was the NL Player of the Week. Watch.
I get the privilege of telling you that you received a National League Player of the Week.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, just wanted to say it's just such an honor being your older brother. I know the most important thing to you is obviously winning games, and you really could care less about the accolades, but it's just a huge testament on all the work you're putting in, and just super proud of you. I know your family's proud of you. You win Brother of the Year, you win Husband of the Year, you win Son of the Year, all the things that are most important you're so good at, but I'm just so happy that you get to share in some award for all the hard work you're doing. Super proud of you and love you very much.
Thanks, Mike. Means a lot. I love you too.
Oh, my goodness. That was Michael Stowers, the older brother of Kyle Stowers, giving his little bro a call to congratulate him. What a moment that was. And Kyle joins us now on the National Pregame Show. Kyle, we have been fans of yours ever since opening day. You've been raking so far this year. I have 5 brothers. None of them that nice to me. None of them that nice to me. That was quite the moment.
Yeah, it was special. I was a little bit younger than both of my brothers, and so they were feuding with each other, and I was kind of the one that got off a little easy.
Did they help you be the baseball player you are today?
100%. When it came to any sport, they let me play with their friends, and I felt like they didn't take it easy on me. I'm sure they did a little bit, but just to be able to compete against, them being older and their friends and, super competitive family. So it was a lot of fun getting to do that and getting pushed in that way.
So cool, Kyle. I'm the youngest brother also, and it seemed like my reward was, hey, Harold, you shagged all day, we'll give you 2 swings. That was kind of it, That was about it.
Oh, man.
Hey, let me take you back and ask you a little bit about the home run the other day in the athletics game. Take me back through the AB.
Yeah, when X was up, he got to a 2-0 count, and so at that moment I felt like I was going to get the at-bat, that he was going to get walked. Mason Miller, who's an amazing pitcher, was a little bit struggling to find the zone a few at-bats, and so I was just ready for it. I told myself on deck that, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your preparation, and so I just felt like I was ready for the moment. I train heaters, I train velocity, and it was just kind of getting out of body and just letting my reactions take over.
So were you looking away? Were you looking in? Were you just looking for fastball?
Just looking for heater in zone, just trying to be on time. I think, just trying to simplify it as much as I could. I think the more we think, sometimes we can get in our own way. So, against an arm like that, you got to just trust what you got and, get your foot down and hope for the best.
Yeah, I like that because a lot of times, the broadcasters today are like, he ambushed him. And I'm always going, he doesn't want to get down on this guy. He's got too much nasty stuff. So it's almost like a reverse approach to a lot of people. Like, I'm going aggressive. I'm looking for that pitch. And that's how I kind of viewed it. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I think, for me, someone swings hard, I just want to be aggressive, get as many, swings off and good pitches to hit, for me, just trying to get the heart of the zone and being aggressive to it, trying to do damage.
When you come up in an organization that had so many position players like Baltimore, to get the chance that you're getting in Miami to play every day must be special, but it's also not just you that's getting that opportunity. Do you feel like you're part of a groundswell, this youth movement there in Miami right now?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of where the Orioles were at, when I was coming up through the system, right? Sure, there hasn't been as much winning as we'd like, but I think, we're seeing a lot of, kind of just like the roots being put into place, the foundation being set, and if I've learned anything, that this type of stuff can turn around really, really fast. And so I think if we're all just pushing each other, staying hungry, staying competitive, and I feel like we're in a lot of these games, and I really do think things are going to start turning our way here sooner than later.
So Kyle, on the show, I love to throw comps around. Which young players remind me of who? I've got like 5 different guys for you. So is there a comp that you think is a good fit for Kyle Stowers that you would recommend to me?
I've heard a few different. Coming up in high school, I heard, I got a Larry Walker one once. I always like Cody Bellinger. Kind of lengthy, uses his levers, hits for power, athletic. That was one I liked. I got with the Orioles a couple times, Nick Markakis. So those are a few of the ones I've heard thrown out.
Those are all pretty good players. I'll give you that. Hey, I want to take you back to one thing you said earlier. You train off velocity. So explain that to our viewers, how you train off velocity.
Yeah, we have this spin ball machine, which can, get it up to, over 100 miles per hour, and from distance too. So you're tracking that ball the whole way, and so it starts with, for me, hitting balls off that, and then I try to make it even more challenging by scooting up closer to it, and just kind of anticipating where I want to see the pitch in the strike zone, and then after I move up closer and closer, I go back to normal distance, and it helps me kind of process the ball for a longer time.
I think that's one of the reasons why you're such a great hitter. I think obviously you got to be looking for velocity if you're training off it, and then being able to hit a breaking pitch seems easier. That's kind of how our generation came up. Is that your thinking at the plate, or are you sitting on breaking balls when you hit them like everybody seems to think everybody's doing?
Yeah, how I like to think about it is it's see it then hit it, not see it and hit it at the same time. So I want to process the ball from as soon as release as I possibly can. I want to see it, rather than maybe seeing it deep, I want to see it as long as I can. If the pitcher is releasing the ball from, let's just call it, 60 feet from where his release is, then I want to see it for as much of that 60 feet as I possibly can.
Growing up as a kid, I played first base, tall left-handed hitter, so I idolized the Fred McGriff, the Will Clark, the Mark Grace, right? So as a left-handed hitter, I'm sure you really do appreciate great left-handed hitters. Well, tonight you get to see Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman up close. I know you're a big leaguer now. You're solidifying yourself every day, Kyle, but that's still pretty cool, right?
Yeah, just playing against the best in the world is still surreal to me. It's so much fun. You like to see, how you stack up against the best pitchers, the best hitters. I'm just so grateful to God to be doing, this, to have, the platform that do something that people care about. It's truly special. Your
NL Player of the Week presented by Chevrolet. Kyle Stowers of the Miami Marlins. Congratulations and stay hot, okay, Kyle? Here now's my Greg's List. Do you guys mind if I do a Greg's List? So this list is my personal opinion. That is the crux of this Greg's List. Our quest to find out who is number one on Greg's List. You guys can hang out with me while we do this. And you are number one on Greg's List. Oh, we're jumping right into it. This is going to break some hearts, folks. Just get ready. Get ready to be mad. Lou Boudreau, don't get mad at him. He was a player manager at the age of 24. Think about that. And he was good at both. 1948 AL MVP, World Series champ. 9 seasons doing that. 9 seasons as a player manager. Harold Reynolds could have been a player manager. Why didn't they think of that? Let's go to number 8. The greatest defensive player to ever play third base, Brooks Robinson. Hall of Famer back in '83, inducted. This is the iconic play. He could do it in his sleep. 16 Gold Gloves. 16 at the hot corner. He had 268 career home runs in 23 seasons. The great Brooks Robinson's number 8. Number 7, another Hall of Famer. I'm telling you, this list is loaded with superstars. Jeff Bagwell, 449 career home runs. A very good defensive player and base runner, believe it or not. 948 OPS in 15 seasons. He won the NL MVP in '94, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017. At number 6, if Dan Plesac was next to me, he would sing that whole Freddie Freeman. I'm not going to do it. My voice is sore. But anyway, 349 career home runs up until now. And number 5 has one of the most iconic World Series moments of all time. Yeah, Freddie Freeman makes the list at number 6. Number 5, Hank Greenberg. 1956, inducted into the Hall of Fame. 313 career average, 331 career home runs. OPS for his career over 1,000 in 13 seasons. A 2-time American League Most Valuable Player. Hank Greenberg, number 5, is number 5 on Greg's list. The best players ever to wear the number 5. George Brett. It's hard to have George Brett number 4 on any list. On any list. That's how tough this list is. 317 career home runs, over 3,100 hits in 21 seasons. Played for one team. Hall of Famer, inducted in '99. AL MVP in 1980. Who's in front of him? It's royalty, right? Joe D, right? Joe DiMaggio. He's got one of the most unbreakable streaks. Just ask Bobby Witt Jr. 56 in a row. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1955. 3-time AL MVP. Career batting average over 320. 362 career home runs. Remember that number before you get mad at me, Yankee fans. Number 2, the greatest catcher of all time. Number 5, Johnny Bench. When you are the greatest catcher ever, you are probably number 1 on most people's list. I'm going to be honest with you. And Johnny Bench, I bit my nails over this because I love Johnny. But 703 home runs wins. 703 home runs wins. Albert Pujols, who wore number 5 for the St. Louis Cardinals, then for the Angels, and then for the Dodgers, and then back to the Cardinals. Albert Pujols did it all. 3 MVPs, 2 World Series championships. He also did something that we'll never see again, okay? Your first 10 seasons in the big leagues, you break into the sport. You have a batting average at least over 300, over 30 home runs, and over 100 RBIs. Almost 11 times in a row. But in 2011, he had 299, and he ended up with 99 RBIs. Albert Pujols, and that stretch to start his career, and then ending with over 700 home runs. I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry, DiMaggio. I'm sorry, George Brett. Albert Pujols is the number 1, number 5.
That might have been the most powerhouse list since you've been doing a Greg's List.
Thank you.
Yankee fans might be arguing with Joe D at number 3, but when you look at the overall numbers, that is like one of the most iconic numbers in baseball history.
Do you agree with the list or disagree?
I agree with the list.
Question Freddie ahead of Bagwell and Brooks Robinson.
Well, Freddie's got room to grow.
But today, I can't put him ahead of those guys. I just can't. I mean, I love Freddie, but I'm sorry. You're not going in front of Brooks Robinson. You're not going in front of Bagwell right now. Not yet.
Freddie he's got 2 World Series championships, and Freddie, that one home run is one of the iconic home runs in the history of the World Series.
I get it. Well, Brooks Robinson is the greatest player in the World Series.